What up? Angelo here, homeless filmmaker in LA, living in my car for almost 2 years now. Some people call me A-Rod, others call me A-Hole. I'm wondering where's going to be a good place to shower in the winter. The gyms are closed. I used to shower at Planet Fitness. I haven't showered there except for one time in 6 months. That one time was when they opened for like 4 days and I didn't even want to go back. For one thing, they only open from like 5 in the morning to 10 at night on weekdays, and already it gets busy at that time, so I was in and out as fast as possible. Also, weekends they open 7. I like to shower really early, like 5:30. If I know the gym's open, I'll try and go even earlier because I want to get there before anyone else. I didn't feel really safe going there either because people were in there without masks in the locker room. And if the gyms reopen, I'm probably not going to feel safe there for a while with the Trump virus around. Got sunscreen running into my eyes. So I'm wondering where's good places to shower because it's going to get cold. It's already, like today it was 64 degrees when I showered. That wasn't really bad. The last few days it was a little chilly, a little stressful, but that's okay. I can deal with it. And if I have to, I'll just deal with it, showering on the street in the cold. But I'm just curious if there's options. I know there's Hope Valley of the Mission, or Hope Mission of the Valley, but they are only open like an hour and 45 minutes from 9 to 11:45 in the morning. I like to do it way earlier. And I've seen a line of guys waiting outside just to get in. Also, I don't know if the YMCAs are even open, but they're not open that early either when I like to shower. So I don't know what other options there are. I'm not trying to shower at other people's places that early. You know, other people have offered me showers, but if I'm going to use theirs, I want to do it at a reasonable hour. And I'm going to need them every day. That's the problem. So I'm wondering if maybe there's co-working spaces that have showers, but I'm thinking if they have showers, they're going to be so expensive, I may as well rent a room, and I'm not trying to rent a room. So I'm not trying to rent a co-working space that expensive. And the other thing about that whole situation is I could very well be getting a job soon, and it'll be a 6-month job sanitizing buildings that are closed down. So I'm not really going to have money to rent a place. I got to pay a ton in credit card bills. And also I do need to get some car repairs done. And I hate living with people. If I'm going to rent a place that's really cheap, I've seen places for like $6.50. I can bet I'm either with a bunch of people. I may not have access to the kitchen all the time, which means I'll have to waste money eating food out, and I won't have a private bathroom. I hate sharing bathrooms with people because most people aren't as clean as me. So, and also I just don't want to deal with anyone's rules. And here's my rule about dealing with bad roommates, which is you can't deal with them. Doesn't matter how well you get along, how cool you are, it's always like the threat of death is nearby whenever you bring this up. If not them to you, they'll think you're going to do something to them. There's no good way of dealing with it because you know you're around each other so much. So my only rule on that is if I have a problem with roommates, I try and leave. That's it. And that's why I've lived in my car for 2 years, among other things. I hate landlords. There are no good landlords. Even a nice landlord is still an exploiter. And I just don't even want to live with people. And your options with roommates when you have problems, it's either one, they hate you, or I've had this happen too, where the guy's like, oh yeah, man, totally, I get it. Yeah, I gotta do this, I gotta take care of that, and they never fucking do. So there are no good ways of dealing with that. To me, I don't ever bring up, oh, here's how you do it here. Why would anyone follow a guide that says, okay, here's how to talk to your roommate about this? Yeah, how many times have you heard about roommates being told to clean up when they don't wash the dishes for a month or something? They let it pile up, they stick to the counter, and the roommate who doesn't clean is the one who's horribly offended. That happens so much. I had one roommate in Annandale. This girl insisted people not walk in the kitchen because to her, walking was stomping, and she was in the basement. And she asked me that twice in one day. And the first time I said, oh, okay. And then she came up and asked again. I said, I'm not stomping my feet. She got in an argument with me for like 30 minutes about it. And then after that, there were hours and hours of days throughout the next few weeks where she was in the basement by the washing machine, take the washer door, boom, slam it shut, because she was convinced we were stomping our feet. And really, she had mental issues, whatever it was. So she was demanding so stuff like, you can't do it. It's like, what? I'm just walking. So there's no way to deal with it. Don't bother. Everybody get the fuck out of your homes if you can help it. I'm looking for a shower, if I can help it. If not, hey, I'll just deal with it. Deal with the cold. The bad thing is, last winter, I heard it was colder than winters usually are here. It wasn't even that cold last winter, but it did get down to like 40 some degrees last winter. That's pretty cold to be showering. I don't mind that so much in a way. It's like, I did that, well, when I was showering at the gym, by the time I was finishing there, before the shutdown, I was turning the water to cold the last like 10 or 15 seconds and trying to end it with a cold shower. I just got sick of the comfort, and I heard that's kind of good for you with inflammation and stuff. So for me, it's like, I don't like too much comfort. It doesn't feel good. I don't want just warm water all over me. So I kind of like that. So it's like, yeah, I kind of don't mind it. Even though I do warm up my water either at Sunspace with the tea kettles, or I just stuff the water bottles in my sleeping bag by my feet when I go to sleep, and so my body heat warms them up. It's sort of successful. It's not perfect, especially if the water bottle, it falls down when I'm sleeping and it doesn't press close to my leg. The other question is, think I should get my transmission fluid changed. Not yet, but really I should see with the old owner if he changed it regularly. Because what Scotty Kilmer says, and a lot of people say, is if you have a high mileage vehicle and it hasn't been changed, don't change it. That could make it way worse. Just let it live. And the transmission's fine, by the way. I have no problems with it. But I'm just wondering, like, I'll check with him and see, hey, I never asked him, did you change it regularly? Because I just want to know for my info if I decide to get it changed at some point. It's got 180,000 miles, so I don't even know if it's a good idea to do it. I've heard anywhere from 30,000 to like 70,000 miles or more, actually, that you should change the transmission fluid. So I'm just curious if anyone knows about that. There's no rush on it. I'm not worried about it. But I would like to keep this car a long time, so if I should avoid it, I will. And this morning I did a little more work. I just cleaned the battery terminals. What kind of grease do I use on the battery terminals? I know I can just look it up, but to keep the corrosion from getting on there. They did have some corrosion. It wasn't that bad. By far better than my Civic. I had it real bad. But I had a brush. I cleaned it and got some water and a paper towel, wiped it up, and fastened the sort of the clamps on the terminals. Spark did fly out when I accidentally, my socket wrench, I was tightening the clamp on the negative terminal, and I lowered, it was at a 90-degree angle, the socket, so I was doing this, and I accidentally let it get down and touch the positive one. Sparks flew out. Fortunately, I had my gloves on, but I was like, oh shit, gotta be careful about that. But anyways, I'm just trying to keep the car in as good as possible condition. I do want to get jack stands. I realize they are pretty lightweight and affordable, so I can keep at least 2 in my car. Do I need to have the whole car level when I raise it to do an oil change, to get all the oil out of the oil pan? Or can I just have it the front of the car up, basically, with 2 jack stands in front, so I don't have to needlessly drive around with 4 jack stands in my car for too long. Eventually I will want 4 when I change when I do the tire rotation. Because I don't want to pay a mechanic for anything if I can help it. And I know I'll need to get the wheels balanced after I rotate them. So anyways, I'm just curious about that, if anyone knows. If anyone knows about the transmission fluid, the oil change, should I have the car level and raised up, or is it okay to just raise the front of it up? Will all the oil drain out of the oil pan? And if anyone knows about showers in LA, it's pitiful how now there's no showers when we could do it if we wanted. And even with having a full-time job, I will not be able to afford a place. I mean, I could barely, and then I'll be just as broke by the time I finish the job as when I started. So what was the point? To just barely survive? Screw that. It's not even a choice. Like, I just will shower in the cold. I don't care. It's not even like a dilemma. Like, I'd sort of rather be broke and have a place to stay. Not even worth it. But I'm going to look into co-working spaces too and see like if there's any place like that, but that has showers. But I'm guessing if they have a shower, that means they have a spa and they have a gym and lounge. Oh, it's going to get way too expensive. It would be like renting a place. All right, I'm going to get going. Like the video, subscribe, or I'll show you my battery terminals now, how good they look. I won't take the clamps off, but I'll show you. You can still basically see them. I got to unlock the door from the passenger side because the lock on the driver's side is just jammed up. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? So that's important to do once in a while. Can you even see that well? Yeah. So it's pretty clean now. Same with this one, and the previous owner had grease on it to prevent more corrosion. I guess I'll look up what kind of grease to get. I don't have any money for it right now, but that'd be good because you don't want the battery dying on you. At some point I should get jumper cables as well, or my own jump start device. Alright everyone, stay tuned, subscribe, click the notification bell to get updates on more videos.